Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Sunday the 9th of January 2022. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to use the Dali Tarot for this daily reading. Let's see what the cards have to say about Sunday and what energy you'll be working with. So let's have a look at what these cards have to say. The first card is the Hangman. Then we've got the Sun. And that's been a big theme lately, the Sun. And finally, Death. Okay, interesting. That also came up earlier in the week. Earlier in the week, the Death card was with the Tower, I think. And it was really about creating a space where you could let go of something negative so that good things could come in. And the Sun, it was either the Sun that appeared recently. I know the Wheel of Fortune did, but the Sun is very much about living your life purpose and doing something that fulfills you and that you're happy with. So it's kind of like the completion of the week's work in a way, that your perspective changes via the Hanged Man. You have access to your strength, your power, your solar plexus chakra, and you're still able to let go of things that are negative and that no longer work. I love this with the white. That to me looks like wood that's been painted white. I suppose it's a field. But that to me really means space and this feeling of emptiness and infinite possibility at the same time. Okay, so let's see what the cards overall are saying. One, it's 3 major arcana cards. So that's a big day. It's not going to be subtle, this energy. It's really going to hit you. The minor arcana cards are temporary influences. The major arcana cards are big life events and themes and these internal milestones that you reach. You know, by the time you get to number 12 in the major arcana on your journey, you realize that sometimes, hey, the way I have been doing things isn't ideal. Maybe I should take a moment to reflect and to stop pushing so hard, especially if the plan isn't working the way I want it to. And maybe, just maybe, I could become willing to see things differently and then to behave and act differently. Maybe I'll get a different outcome. So that's something most of us realize after a while, that certain things aren't just aligned with who you are and they simply don't work. And it's important to know when to quit, I feel. If you're in a situation where other people, like a job particularly, where other people just find it easy and natural, and for you, you have to psych yourself up every morning and just really, the whole thing goes against your nature, you're going to have a much harder time than the people who are comfortable in that job. And yes, you can muddle your way through and progress, but wouldn't it be easier to stop torturing yourself and to stop and to take a moment and to say, hey, well, actually, I have talent too. How can I use that in a way that actually works for me? So that each day isn't this ordeal. So the Hangman, obviously, it's got associations with crime and punishment, right? Because the Hangman is suspended in midair here. So it's sometimes the lesson hits you in the face. Sometimes you have to be taught that, hang on a minute, this doesn't work. And, you know, in recovery, they call that kind of rock bottom. When are you going to get it? Are you going to get the fact that maybe you have an addiction issue when you end up in hospital, or when you get into a horrible accident, or when you hurt someone else? What's your personal rock bottom? When are you going to have that aha moment that says, I can't go on like this. I can't do this anymore. It's not working out. I'm not successful in my endeavors here, and everything's just turning to chaos. And that then is that moment of, okay, thank goodness I recognize that I can do things differently. So when the Hangman is in reverse, usually the legs make a 4. That's stability and structure. And it means that your stability and structure is being taken from you, so the familiar way of doing things, and now you can see things from a different perspective, upside down, 180. And that's really the key, that I get on this day, that you realize where you're expending a lot of energy in a way that isn't useful, and that just makes things more difficult. So stop swimming against the tide as such. Look around, see where you're exhausting yourself for really no reason, how you can turn that around by particularly the Uranus card here, the symbol for Uranus from astrology. That's the planet of the eccentric and the miraculous and the unexpected. So look at your own pleasures in life or things that are unique to you. Something that really helped me a long time ago was someone said, what is it that you do free of charge in your spare time anyway? In my case, it was doing the daily tarot reading. I did that anyway, for myself every day. And I don't know why it took so long for the penny to drop, but once I focused on that and made that my priority, and even in work, then it was my eccentricity, it was my ability to, or my affinity for the cards, that I would want to read them. That made me different. I saw that was different, and that potentially I could do something about it. So I relate very much to this whole theme because for me, I did a master's degree in journalism in Australia. I mean, it was such a struggle to find my niche and what I'm supposed to do. And because I'm a little bit weird, of course, I'm so happy now that I do something a little bit weird for my work because it fits me. But to find that and to find my own space in that was exhausting. And in the meantime, I still had, to keep a roof over my head. So I did these jobs that, I mean, sorry, I'll get on with the rest of the reading in a minute. But looking back on it, I don't regret anything because each job that I was in, even though I didn't like them and they weren't a good fit, I learned different things from each one. I really can't say that hand to heart, whether it was patience or the ability to speak in front of people, whatever it was. So please don't look at your circumstances, oh, this is all wasted and I have to do things differently. I have experience to the point where I can take a time out now, look at what makes me different or eccentric, what I enjoy for myself, what I can do with that in order to make my identity, my presence in my life tangible. I want to show up for myself. I want to appear in the narrative of my own story. I want to be like, what character would you be if someone was going to write a story about you? Would you be an adventurer who kind of takes charge of things and who's master of their own destiny? Or do you want to be seen as, someone who is very important in the local community and works as a matchmaker? Or someone who's physically very strong? Is that how you want to appear? If someone was going to write you in as a character and you could pick any one, which character would you be? And that's what you get today. That's what you see. The things that you love about yourself and how you can use your strength and ability to look into the future to become that person all the time. And this kind of reminds me of wearing your heart on your sleeve. But this person isn't wearing their heart on their sleeve. They're wearing their passions and their desires around their torso and behind. And what you're really going to see very clearly today is what makes you happy, what gives you a sense of drive, strength, I can do this. And Gemini here, the Roman numeral 2, that's a doorway. So again, it's the recognition of your talents and what you can actually do with that and how that can alter things in future. Then we've got death. And the thing I like is that we've seen something differently and we're now aware of what the passion is. The lion down here, kind of much darker than other things, that is the strength. And because it's so dark with the little kitty eyes, if things were super easy and you were just skipping along easy street, then you wouldn't need to pull your inner resources of resilience and strength and stamina, right? You wouldn't, because it's easy. He only appears when things are challenging and tough. And that's when really you can be courageous and strong, when you're actually afraid. If you're not afraid, then there's no reason to be courageous. Okay. So you get what you're doing. You feel empowered. You know what it's about. Usually for most of us, that then brings up fear. What if I do this? I really care about it. What if I open it up to other people and no one likes it? Or if I get criticized for it? Or what if it fails? That fear, I feel, because we've got the hanged man, this comes next. So I'm seeing something differently, gives me a new perspective. Then I'm going to let go of the stuff that doesn't work. And then we're skipping over to the sun and saying, ultimately, I want to be happy. So it's the ability to let go of the stuff that wears you out, that you no longer want, passions that really don't serve you. Like if you have a problem with, if you reward yourself in ways that aren't helpful to you, then the rewards, you'd be better off without them. Here we've got this kind of black slope here. I have an obsidian, what are they called? It's like the monument they have in Washington. What are they called? It's like a pyramid, but the thing is much longer. I can't. Tell me in the comments, please. But I've got one that's obsidian, and it fits nicely into the palm of my hand, and I hold that sometimes if I want to absorb negativity and not react, and or deflect it in a way. So this death stuff with all the black and the skull there, it's very much about ending something that doesn't work anymore, severing the tie with death and old and things that have shown to be lifeless in your experience. So you're able to let those go because you recognize them. And similarly to earlier in the week, you can then fill that space with sunlight and love and strength. So I get that that's an amazing theme that we've got access to here this week. And it is the beginning of 2022. So this is kind of like turning a new page and starting over and saying, I am still on planet Earth. I am where I'm at. I'm kind of tired of that and I want to move on to something that suits me more. So it's self-actualization, it's letting go of the past and recognition of the positive. Here also, no clothes. That's always about getting to the truth of who you are. Without artifice, affectations, phony kind of mannerisms you've adopted to fit into some sort of a community, any of that, you drop it all and you say, who am I really? And what do I enjoy really? And it sounds simple, but for most of us, it's really, really scary. Because what does that mean? I'm going to have to do something about it. Yikes, what if I fail? Oh no. So you can let go of those fears and you can genuinely let go of things that don't work. So it's things in your life, people in your life, or certain ways of behaving. And then you can flip them by 180 and replace them with healthier habits. I know that sounds thrilling, healthy habits, but healthy habits do create healthy people, healthy lifestyles. It's just so dull and boring, but it's true. If you drink water in the morning and just eat oats and vegetables and stuff, you're going to feel a lot better than if you're going to, McDonald's 3 times a day. It's just... Okay, number-wise, we've got 12 and a 13 is 25. And then what's this? 15, 19, right? So that's 44, isn't it? 44? Let me add it up another way. 19 and 12 is... yeah, 44. 44 is really significant to me because I put it in all my social medias. By the way, I'm thinking of getting rid of Instagram. Like, it's so annoying at the moment with people impersonating me and I can't get verified. Someone in the comments put a thing on. I watched that. I still don't. I applied. I haven't heard anything back. So I'm just thinking about that at the moment. But 44. So in my name, it's 444. 44, 444. Same thing, really. 44 technically isn't a master number, but to me it is because it means to me that what you're trying to do with your life is you're asking your higher self. So this is a perfect representation, this card, of the number 44. I'm asking my higher self, what do you want me to do with my life? What's going to suit me? And then I try and listen to what they're actually saying. And then I implement that information and I turn it into real life action and I make it real. So this is beautifully done here. The angels are whispering in your ear saying this would suit you, try it out. And then your physical self says, hey, okay, I'm listening, I'm hearing you, and I'm going to do this despite the fact that it scares me half to death. I'm going to do it anyway because I know, I have faith that you're telling me the right thing and I'm going to trust in the process. So that's what this day is about. So listen to what your higher self says, your angels, your guides, your gut feeling. And fundamentally, I get a weariness of, I've been here before, I've done this, I know this, I'm tired of repeating the same pattern over and over again, I'm ready to move on. And that was earlier in the week too, this desire to upgrade, you know, to say, ugh, really, this has come up for the 19th time now, am I going to have it come up for the 20th, or can I be done with it? So sometimes fatigue and things getting too tedious is a good thing because you recognize them and it liberates you. So liberation and self-actualization, I love it. Have a wonderful day. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on book your reading to audio reading with me. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Please hit subscribe and share the video online. Have a fabulous day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.